Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to Co-Creative Healing Journey. My name is Greta, and this is a pick a card reading that is romance based, where we're going to be doing a check-in on a romantic relationship. So we're going to be looking at the energy of the relationship, yours, the other person's, the dynamics between you, and of course, bring in whatever messages Spirit wants to share with you about this relationship. We have here three options. This is the Joy Stone, this is the Growth Stone, and this is the Peace Stone. So it's for you to choose one or more of these options. Timestamps are in the description box, and I'll see you for your reading in just a little bit. Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to those of you who chose this Joy Stone. We have here the Joy Stone, which is so beautiful. And it's such a nice energy to be taking in when looking at your relationship. And there's a message here because I'm trying to see how to show it and get it to focus. And it's definitely me working the camera. But there is a message here about joy in this relationship, and I feel like a potential for joy. So first we're going to start by looking at, oh, there you go. Wow. Yeah, okay. All right. We're going to look at the dynamics, overall dynamics in the relationship. So this was the top card when they popped out. So this is the overall energy. We have Eclipse in Virgo, reorganization, choose duties and responsibilities carefully. Then we have Moon in Gemini with indecision. Should I stay or go? And then finally we have Eclipse in Capricorn with new direction, reevaluate success. Wow. So I feel like this relationship here is at a crux point, a crossroads of sorts, a choice point. And it is about, does this relationship continue at all, continue in its present shape? There's a choice here to be made about this relationship, which probably is why you're here, right? And so I just want to mention that I am recording this at a time when there's a huge storm around. So just be aware, if you hear that's what's going on. There's a big storm, but also it feeds into this energy, and I was reading into the storm energy, what would that be? And it's very much about a cleansing of energy, something being taken out, something coming in, and it's showing up directly in this relationship. With reevaluate success, I feel like this is a new energy that has come in for you. I am also recording this in alignment with eclipse energies. There's an eclipse card here and another one there. So there's this message that is talking about how you have had a shift in your own life. And in Capricorn, it's talking about what you're reaching for, the way the goats climb. And so what you're reaching for, what your goals are, your understanding of success, you have had a reevaluation, and you're trying to ground that into your life. And so this relationship is coming under the microscope in a way where it didn't as much before. You're looking into it much more carefully, much more clearly, because relationships do have duties and responsibilities. They require a lot, time, energy, resources, and you're looking at this relationship wondering if it is one that you want to put your energy into, your focus into, that you want to continue on with. For some of you, it's also going to be a relationship that requires work, that requires effort. Maybe you need to go to therapy, maybe you need to have a lot of discussions, maybe you need to move, that there's just some form of effort that needs to put in just to continue the relationship or to get it in a better space. And so it is bringing about this opportunity, Spirit is saying, actually, for you to consider whether or not to stay or go. And it's an opportunity in the sense that, yes, you can choose to go, and then you will have the opportunity for something great, or you can choose to stay and you will have the opportunity for something great. What is going to make it great is you making a choice in alignment with your new understanding of success, with the way in which basically your energies have shifted. So we have here an Eight of Pentacles, And I was really stumbling over my words and putting it together because there is this energy here that is very uncertain and kind of stumbling. With Eight of Pentacles upside down, yeah, a lot of work has been put in. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. Major Arcana number 10. We have a Six of Pentacles. Beautiful. Wow. Again, the notion, whatever work you do put in, it will come back to you. And beautifully, Spirit is saying. So it's just a matter of work in which direction, right? Because staying is work and leaving is work, actually. So that may be unwelcome news. You may be thinking about it as, oh, staying is easy and leaving is hard, or leaving is hard, staying is easy. But Spirit is saying that there's work in both, actually. And then we have Four of Wands. So it's really kind of choosing the kind of work that you want to do. Now, with Six of Pentacles, I am getting the message that actually both of your energies have shifted in this relationship. So as much as your energies have shifted, the other person's has also. You may or may not be aware of it, but they have. With the Six of Pentacles at the center, there is the balance in resources. But of course, a resource is always something that is inert, right? We have to choose to work it. We have to choose to use it. With the Eight of Pentacles, there's a message that you already have put in a lot of time, a lot of effort. You already feel very invested in this relationship. And so there's a feeling that you don't want to put in any more work, but the Wheel of Fortune is telling you that there's been this shift. And with the two eclipses showing up, the storm going on outside, there is a message here from Spirit that there's been a big energetic shift. Part of this collective shift that we all have been in, this relationship also is experiencing a frequency shift. So what was down is going to come up, and actually what was up is also going to come down. But that's actually very positive in the sense that you may have needed, for example, to be the one who carries more of the load of the emotional work, the financial work, something like that, some form of imbalance that was playing out. And so you were on top in that, and now there's going to be a shift, and you're not going to need to be so on point, so on top with taking care of things. Again, duties, responsibilities to lighten your emotional, your financial, your resource load, whatever resource you were giving more of and not getting as much back, that is going to be rebalanced in this connection because the other person is gaining the means to do so. It's part of a frequency shift. But the Queen of Cups is saying that doesn't need to be where you decide from, because we have here her talking, I forget what it's called, I think it's the offertory, but it is part of mass, and it's a vessel that is representing the divine, that the divine is inhabiting it. So there's something here about you doing a form of soul searching, looking inside, looking at your feelings, looking at what you really want to do, because it's not so much on the basis of what's going to happen or what the other person can do. With Four of Wands, it's about your own happiness, your own well-being, your own foundation in life, right? Your idea of that success, of peace, of prosperity, of abundance, all the things of the Four of Wands. And it's about you sitting in that energy and contemplating that energy and really arriving at a place where you are clear on whether or not this relationship is in alignment with that. But it's very important that it's in alignment with you. So for example, what you're looking at when we put all of this together is a scenario where you say, oh, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore because they're not pulling their financial weight and I just can't do it anymore. And then that moment, your partner, the person comes in and like, I just got a job and I'm making so much more money and I can completely change this dynamic and I'm actually going to be the main provider in this relationship. Then it would be like you would get this sinking feeling inside, like, oh no. And then you realize, oh, it's because I wasn't actually leaving because of the issue that I thought was the thing, but it was for a different reason. I just know that it's not for me, that it's not where I belong, it's not where I'm at home anymore. In the same way, you could decide to leave, I just can't stand this anymore. A person comes in, they got their job, and then you feel this incredibly deep sense of resonance, like, oh my god, yes. I really wanted it to work out, and I'm so happy that it is. So it both ways, Spirit is saying that it's about doing this work of knowing how you actually feel on the inside, what you actually want, and not basing yourself on things that are external or things that are about the other person, but really making it a fully personal and individual choice. So with that, we have the Seven of Wands. And it sometimes can be hard to do because there's someone else involved, but still, at the end of the day, you have to choose to be in this connection. You have to choose this relationship, the dynamics, and everything that will flow from that. And that's what's going to allow you to have a lot of joy and freedom in your choice, right? And in your future, no matter what you choose, right? You have a future with this person either way. It's a future where you're together, it's a future where you're separate, but it's about you feeling joyful and good about either space you're in. So we've got Seven of Cups. We have Seven of Wands upside down, Seven of Cups upside down. We have Nine of Swords upside down. Yeah. We've got Ten of Cups, beautiful. And we've got the Knight of Cups upside down. What I'm getting a lot is that there's kind of some good energies here. And again, we have a frequency shift. Things are going to be looking up. Things are going to be going great in general. But it's not the same thing inside of you. With Seven of Wands, there is this energy, and Seven of Wands upside down, of being tired of fighting for it. And being tired of, or rather, it's like you found something greater that you want to fight for, which is this shift. And there's a new intention, there's a new direction, there's a new truth to you and your life. And it really is causing you to reevaluate and to have different priorities and to value things differently, right? Appreciation, knowing the value of, and to put things at a different level and on a different pedestal. And in this kind of energy shift, it's for sure you valuing the spiritual more. So there's a message about how what you're fighting for and what you want to fight for. And this is Wands, so it's your heart. It's like deeper inside of you. It's not just mental, but what you want to be fighting for has changed. And that's okay. And there's a message here about beating yourself up because you feel like there's something wrong with you, right? You're making it your issue rather than your growth. Rather than a message, a new understanding, a new awareness about how you want to and can build and create a lot more happiness in your life. Because ultimately, this is what it's about. Spirit is like, this is what life is about. It's about you developing the Ten of Cups. And this shift that you've made inside of you where you have a different truth, a new direction, it's ultimately to guide you to this Ten of Cups and to a much truer experience of life. And with the Knight of Cups upside down here, it's only something that you can realize if you allow yourself to have what you need. Knight of Cups, we're attending to our needs. It's about giving yourself what you need. You need to have this happiness. You need to have this joy. And in the absence of this happiness and this joy and this fulfillment, you won't have not just happiness, you won't have peace. It will be the same thing over and over again. You can be in the next relationship and the same issue would arise again, because fundamentally it's something that you have to decide within you, something that you have to decide for yourself. Now, I find that a little confusing. I just want to draw a couple of cards about what fundamentally it is for you to choose. Some of you may know, some of you may not. We have 2 cards, yeah, 3. I wanted 3, and we got 3. 10 of Pentacles. Again, there's a very successful life. This is part of like one ingredient in creating a successful life for yourself. A necessary ingredient. We have a 4 of Cups. want this anymore. Knight of Swords. You don't have full clarity why. So a lot of this is like creating reasons. I'm not saying you're being like petty or blaming. You're trying to understand. And then we have Seven of Swords. And Seven of Swords is a card of misunderstandings, but also showing right side up, there's some form of deception at play. Really? Okay. Is it specifically that? Wow. Okay. Sorry, I just had to check because I've seen this kind of dynamic. I remember I had a friend who was like, and I've done this myself also, but my friend, it was just more spectacular. She was like, I want to quit everything and I want to go off and I'm going to travel the world and I'm just going to change my life completely. And then I talked to her for a little bit and it turned out that what she was feeling was an internal shift. She felt this expansion on the inside and she wanted to change her life in order, it's something that we just do because we're hardwired, we're conditioned to really think in very material terms, but it's an energetic shift that she was thinking of and conceiving of as living it externally. And the candle just got blown out from all the wind. So we will leave it at that. There's definitely a new energy coming in, and it's about living it out at the right level. There is a video here on the channel about finding the right level, so you may want to watch that to help you out. The Spirit is saying, again, what you're tired of, the change that you want, that you need, is fundamentally here. It is energetic. It is inside you. It is also inside this person. It is inside the relationship. But none of this will be fulfilling to you, will work for you, unless you arrive in a space and a place where it is coming from an internal dynamic, right? You own it, and it's about your expansion. So ultimately what it's about is for you to arrive into a more expanded version of yourself. And it's not about thinking, well, I can't do it in this relationship, I can't do it with this person, I can't do it with these conditions. It's something between you and you, and it's something that you realize inside of yourself. And if you leave this relationship, for example, in order to expand, then you are going to just go into the other relationship and still be externalizing that energy. But if you expand within yourself, naturally you will either stay or go. You will make that choice and you will find the most aligned choice. But definitely don't get it twisted. Definitely don't make an internal matter and an internal issue an external one. An external one. This one? Yeah. We have some more specific advice. Wow. Wow. Is that on camera? Yeah, good. That's so wild. That's so wild. Advice number 1. Don't be misled. Don't be misled. Right? And behind it says, when fear speaks, it's always wrong, unless being chased by wildebeests. And when love speaks, it's always right and usually bouncy. Game on, the universe. I was just thinking about this today. But let's look at the other one. Keep it simple. Okay. Yeah, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it at home. Old souls use words very sparingly, except, of course, for I love, thank you, wow, now, and cool. Wow, I love you now, the universe. P.S., which sounds much better than wow, now I love you. Sequence is important. Very, very deep. Okay, so don't be misled is talking about how, I was thinking about this today actually. I was thinking about how if you have a choice to make and you make this choice from a place of fear, no matter what, it's not going to be the right choice. And on paper, it could be the right choice. Go left, go right. You choose out of fear, and broken clock is right twice a day. You'll end up making on paper the right choice, right? Fundamentally, in the results and the outcomes, it will be the right choice. But if it doesn't come from the right energy, then it's not the right choice. And that's what Spirit is telling you. If you make a choice out of fear, if you make a choice on the wrong level or from avoidance of meeting something inside of yourself, taking responsibility in some way, seizing power, because that's what it is. There's a calling here for you to become more empowered with the Seven of Wands. And so if you don't listen to that calling, you're just going to set into motion the same cycle over and over again. You're essentially creating like a karmic cycle. So don't be misled about what's at stake here and the dynamics. As within, so without. Start within, really work on yourself, and you will arrive at the right choice no matter what, because it's gonna be the aligned choice, the true choice for you. But keep it simple. Yeah, it's one of those things where you know what you want, and then there's a lot of overthinking, and then there's a lot of kind of beating yourself up, and it also goes with not being fully clear about what this is. Okay, so oftentimes when we get these kinds of energetic shifts, when we process it mentally, then it can become like, I'm going to move to another country and I'm going to become a nomad and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, as opposed to be, oh, I need to be more adventurous in my life, which I can do here and now, right? So it becomes something much more expansive. So I feel like this is guidance specifically on you reevaluating your success, taking this new energy, this new wand, this new intention that is here in your life, and finding a simple, direct way, because intentions are always simple. Intention is, I want to be happy. I want more. I want this. I want that. And I'm intending this. I'm directing myself. I'm taking my life here. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm creating this. I'm going to be this. Those are intentions. I'm gonna go someplace and live and do this and do that, da, 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 da. That's mental. So it's about learning the distinction. Come back to a space where you're in the values, you're in the priorities, you're in the truth of what this energy shift is for you. Receive it in that space, in that simple space, in that true space. Deal with it there. And then you can get more elaborate. But start with something simple. What is the truth of where you stand here and now in this connection in you? And then, look at the two. How do they fit? What is your truth? Let's start with you. It's a little harder to arrive at, but what is the truth about you and where you stand? Definitely start there. Definitely start with you. What is the truth of where you stand in this connection? Keep it simple and then take it from there. So, love, that was the reading. I do want to give you just one takeaway. I'm always breathing out heavy because I haven't noticed it on listening to these videos again, because I work energy, of course. So surrender to what is. Oh, my love. Again, how amazing these messages match. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. And the situation that needs to change or that you need to embrace is, again, not this relationship in or out. It's, I have changed. Things are different. There's a choice for me to make here. And it is what it is. You have a choice to make, and we can choose to do something, we can choose not to do something, and we can choose not to choose. That's also a choice. So no matter what, there is a choice here for you to make, and Spirit wants you to know that you are absolutely capable of doing it, and that it really is going to lead you to beautiful, wonderful, amazing spaces and places as you work the process, as you make this choice, and then move forward from there. So, love, that was your reading. Thank you so much for being here. That was really exciting. I really hope that this reading served you. I hope that it made sense to you in your situation. And if you would like to share, I would love to hear it, how it landed, because I only read energy. I don't know kind of the details, and it's always interesting for me to hear from the other side. And otherwise, I do offer intuitive readings. 2 per week. I have 2 slots per week, and then I have created some energy work. There's free energy work here on the channel to have energy alignment, energy activations. I do energy clearings also on my website, www.cocreativehealingjourney.com. If that speaks to you, check it out. It is here for you. Sending you lots of love, wishing you all the best. May you be blessed always and in always, and I will be seeing you around. Bye, love. Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to those of you who chose the Growth Stone. Oh, this beautiful stone that I also love because it just feels so good in my hand. And when I got this stone, when I was looking at the growth, I saw someone standing on like a field and the grass just growing from beneath them. So being in a situation, being in a space, and the growth and the fertility just coming up, shooting up, shooting out of the ground. Okay, so let's look at the energy dynamics in this relationship. So there's a lot of potential for growth, for evolution in this connection, for fertility. Spirit is saying a lot of potential for everything you want, basically. Ooh, well, that's good. Let's look at this. We have self-respect. And we have got intimacy. And then finally, we've got forgiveness. I forgive myself. I am forgiven. And by the way, there's a storm going on outside, so you might hear it over the microphone, which is also why the candle is not lit. And yeah, the energies of the storm, very much about clearing out old energy and bringing in new energy. And I feel like this is you. You have had a relationship path that has been really taking you through some difficult relationships, difficult connections, where you have had to learn to choose yourself over and over and over again. It has been the light on your relationship path. So being in a difficult relationship, hurtful relationship, what was the light forward? What helped you move forward in the relationship or in your life in general? Which would mean sometimes away from the relationship, away from the person, but just keeping you moving forward is continually self-respect, choosing yourself over and over and over again. And Spirit is saying that this path has led you here to a beautiful castle, which is the ultimate destination, like this great true love. You're heading towards a true love relationship and connection now. I'm getting different energies and or different scenarios. So for some of you, you're not there yet, and you're single and you're looking and you're going to receive this reading in that way. For some of you, you are having just met someone and you're wondering if they are that person, that true love relationship. And for some of you, you are in this relationship, and then it would be about dynamics and about growth and evolution. So take it as resonates, right? And if it's not your scenario, if that's not what the relationship is, then I would advise you to find another pile, because there's very much this message about choosing yourself and then heading towards this true love relationship and connection. Let me check. Is there a fourth scenario? Yes. Okay. That would also mean that for some of you, you're here asking about one relationship, and Spirit is actually going to tell you about another relationship, which is the true love relationship that you're headed. And so, make your own inferences from that, right? Make sense of it from that. But let's keep going. Very much about this path, and very much headed for a relationship where there's intimacy, there's connection, there's warmth. You see all of these candles, there's just a light. And it's not so much about romance or anything like that. It's about real intimacy, meaning this person on the inside and they know you on the inside. A lot of ability of understanding, connecting, listening, knowing each other. So, in other words, being at home with each other, at home with one another. And I love it because I can see it. I feel like this is you, irrespective of your gender. This is you being able to rest on their heart, to rest in who they are, their integrity, their truth, their intentions, their values, their priorities. And it brings you a lot of peace and quiets a lot of things in your head, including a lot of memories, because with forgiveness here, you've been through a lot, as we've said, and this is a relationship where you're just feeling, or you're gonna feel, that everything is worthwhile. What you've gone through, you forgive it, you forgive yourself. Really, all of those dynamics, oftentimes we really need to forgive ourselves so that we can forgive others, but all of those dynamics, within, without, everything is resolved. It's over, it's okay, it's healed, it's brought into wholeness with a lot of spiritual help. Also, your guides really working towards that. So there's also a lot of spiritual guidance in you being led to this castle and this person being led from the other side, so that you guys are going to meet up. A very spiritually guided connection. Absolutely. Because it's just going to be so good for you. So good for you. So healing. So incredibly nurturing. And I'm just feeling kind of a little a little I think the word is gas. It's like in my throat, in like almost like a feeling burping, but it's indigestion. So some inability to digest this, some difficulty digesting it based on the past and based on where you've been. Too good to be true. Inability to recognize it, to understand it, to hold it, to receive it. It doesn't fundamentally matter. You're getting worked on, and it's your it's a true love connection. You'll get there anyway, but of course it's the experience. It doesn't feel good. This sense that I'm having right now, it doesn't feel very good. And that matters, of course. Ace of Wands upside down. We have the Empress upside down. It's been showing up quite a bit recently. Well, actually, we'll show it later on because it's upside down anyway. We have the World upside down. Wow. Major Arcana number 3 with the Empress. Major Arcana number 21 with the World. Let me see. Yeah, Ace of Swords. Wow. 2 aces. Prime energy and lots of potential. And then we have a Ten of Swords, exactly what we were talking about. Wow. Okay. Okay. So, sorry, give me a moment to place it, because this Ace of Wands is here. It's a new energy. And with all of these vegetables, it's a new energy that is bringing you what you need. Nurture, a sense of wholeness. There's this new beginning, and with the cat standing in front of it, I feel like, again, it's guarded, it's spiritually guarded. Your guides are guarded, but the energy is upside down, so it's not there yet, it's not begun yet, because of this Empress energy. This is you, and this is you needing to heal something. Okay, you needing to heal something in yourself. You see where this Empress is looking? She's looking off to another card, which is actually the Emperor. And the Emperor in this deck is a matching card, so that they're both drawn, so that they're looking towards one another, and they're holding one end of it's not a ruban, it's not a wire, it's a band. I forget the exact word, but they're both a string. They're both holding on one end, and it represents the marriage. And so it's you growing and evolving into the version of yourself that can be in this connection where you can see it and you can feel it and it's making sense. The Empress is a card of growth and fertility. And for me, it's also this card of a better self, a higher version of ourselves, embodying the best aspects of ourselves. And you are in that process of growth and evolution. But in order to do that with the World, there's the need to close off another cycle. And there's the need to really kind of reconnect your old experiences with the new. We have here the child and the elder, and they're the same being. We have here a little what's it called, like a bush that is going to grow into that mighty tree. So the beginning and the end are connected, and when we make that connection and allow them to stand together, then things can be healed and made whole. And with the Ace of Swords upside down, it's the truth that you need to see, and I feel like it's going to show up very individually for all of you. It's the same core truth, but it's going to make sense differently. So it's this truth that everything that you've been through, everything that you've experienced, is why you're able to have this connection here and now. Yeah. It's hard to see. I know it's me. I know it's the camera, but it's part of the reading. It's part of the interpretation, that it's hard for it to come into focus. But there was where you've been, which was night. There's where you are now, where you're headed with this person in this connection. And that's day. And it's about, with the Ace of Swords upside down, for me, it's also my obey clarity card. So when you've had the clarity, when we've had the flash of insight and we've seen the truth, we don't always run with it. We don't always pick it up and go with it. And so this is about you learning and accepting and really obeying the truth that where you are is fundamentally, and maybe even practically for some of you, exactly how you're getting. So maybe some of you, I know someone who knows someone who actually ended up marrying her ex-husband's twin brother. So she found her twin brother, her presumably her happily ever after, her true love, from divorcing his twin brother, right? So that would be a way in which that marriage that failed and brought so much heartache ended up being going well because the twin brother consoled her, right? It's like that. Maybe less dramatic, but it's like that. Maybe having a workplace and it was so horrible and so difficult, but then that's where you meet your partner. It's like that. There's a way in which things come together in a greater wholeness. Maybe because you've been through abusive relationships, you know so much about how to communicate in a healthy way, what makes a relationship healthy. You have all this knowledge and all this ability to create a truer relationship. And with the Ten of Swords, it's exactly represented as that. Ten of Swords is betrayal, it is disaster, calamity, the worst of human society, really, the worst things that we do with each other. And look at all of those butterflies and those colors and all of the regeneration and the energy freed from it. And to me, it looks like a graveyard. It looks like putting things to rest, and then there's transformation and there's growth and there's evolution. Now on this channel, we will always say, you will always hear me say that we don't need darkness to grow and evolve. We absolutely do not. We're beings of light. We can just evolve following the light. It's just that given how we live, we go through a lot of darkness and a lot of light, and so we have to make our way out of a darkness. We have to deal with a lot of darkness in order to arrive at the light. And this is kind of a process where you precisely are turning darkness into light. You're lighting a new fire, a new intention, a new drive, a new passion, also a passion for relationships in your life, because you're healing and you're forgiving the past and you're letting it go. And Spirit is saying, yeah, it requires that kind of passion, or a lot of passion, to be able to enter into, to accept, to choose, and also to sustain this kind of connection. And it's about coming back to that space of being passionate about yourself, about love, about relationships, after what you've been through. And of course, you didn't go through those things to become passionate about relationships. That would be so counterproductive. That would be the worst way to teach you to be passionate about relationships, to go through bad ones and abusive ones. So that's not what it is. It's more like a matter of cleansing away the hurt and the pain, the darkness that you've been in, so that you can have what you deserve, what is in alignment with yourself, what is true of you. And this relationship certainly is part of that. We've got Two of Pentacles. Yeah, night and day, night and day, night and day, I tell you. We've got a Knight of Pentacles. Okay. We've got Queen of Cups. Upside down. Beautiful. And we've got the High Priestess upside down again. So, my love, Two of Pentacles is talking about, two very, very different levels. And you know how you do the same things, right, with people? We all like go for walks, for example, or you go on a date, and you could go to the exact same restaurant as you did with your abusive ex, but it's a very different experience. And that's what the Two of Pentacles is talking about. This is talking about going into relationship and doing the same things, having the same steps. And it could be something that maybe like freaks you out, like you're at dinner and this person forgot their wallet, and they're like, oh no, I forgot my wallet, could you pay for me? And you're getting flashbacks to an ex who just always took advantage of you financially. But this is not the same thing. It's the same event. It's just unfolding at a different level. And then maybe this person will actually pay you back, and you'll actually find that they're incredibly good with money and they're incredibly generous, and it's a completely different experience. But you have to allow yourself to get there. If you ditch on the first date, if you ditch at the first sign of trouble, and especially at the first sign of you being triggered by something from the past, then you are not going to make it to the next level to see what else is coming. You are being guided to take it step by step. It's important in this connection to take it step by step and to be very what's the word? Diligent, yeah. Because when we see the Knight of Pentacles, it's slow, right? It's often interpreted as slow, but Spirit has specifically taught me not to interpret it as slow, because it's taking away from the point. It's about being careful. It's about being detail oriented. Again, going step by step, very consequent. What's the word? What would be the word in English? I will look for that word because I need it a lot in readings. But exactly that, to do what I didn't do, of looking for that word so I can apply it, because it's there every single time. It's about, yeah, doing your due diligence, and it's about showing up in every single moment and giving what is needed, and it's about building a relationship step by step, little by little. This it doesn't mean slow, it just means thorough. There you go. It's about being thorough. It's about, if something bothers you, then talk about it. Don't go around thinking about it in the back of your head, but talk about it. And when you talk about it with this person, they're going to dispel it. Oh, I really did forget my wallet. Da, 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 da. And then you learn something about this person, and they're like, oh, I have this. Maybe you start talking about finances, and that sets one stone, one foundational stone in the relationship, and so on and so forth. It's talking about building trust over time, building intimacy over time, building a sense of reliability on this person, that you can kind of give yourself over to this relationship little by little as time goes by. I made it about time again. It's not about time, but give yourself over to this relationship little by little as you go through the steps. There are steps. For example, there's a step that is your first argument. How was that handled? There is the first time that one of you is sick and the other one needs their help. How was that handled? And so on and so forth. So all of these little steps along the way are important. And so put a lot of care into those steps to build this intimacy little by little. Then Queen of Cups, there's a need for healing here and some personal growth. And Spirit is saying that we're going to see it in the card. You see how she has this big throne in the middle of the sea? And it's talking to me about relying a little too much in your own experience, sitting on that experience. Well, because I experienced that with this person, then it must mean that all men are like this. All relationships are like that. It must mean that I am like this in a relationship. It means that I can't be trusting. I can't be this, or I have to be that. It just kind of all of these, it's not beliefs per se. Well, actually, it partly is. It is beliefs, but it's more talking about a form of embodiment. It's like you're carrying it, you're embodying it, you're feeling it. It's your way of experiencing. It's your paradigm, your reality, and it's about healing out of it and questioning it, because there's a lot of things. For example, let me give you this example. I watch a lot of spiritual content on YouTube, just seeing what's going on, what's out there, what people are saying from different spheres. Also just out of curiosity, because I find it fascinating, and also looking for nurture. And I don't find a lot because a lot of people are hurt and wounded. And for example, I've watched so many conspiracy theories from healers, or different people channels, that healers or channels and so on, and they're talking about conspiracy theories, the jab this, the jab that, aliens are really ruling the world in secrecy. And every single one of these people, I see unresolved trauma, and the bigger the unresolved trauma, the more intense the conspiracy becomes. And I literally saw one of them who she was talking about this big war going on in the heavens, and she actually started healing. And there's a video, I think it's something like, there's a video like, I healed this huge thing in myself, and then the next video is, the war in heaven is over, the good one. And it's those kinds of dynamics. Like, we can't not see the world through the lens of our own energetic makeup, our own wounding in this case, but also our own wholeness. And so Spirit is talking to you about doing work where you're forgiving yourself, you're forgiving others, you're working also with your guides in the universe to really shed a lot of energy, cleanse that off so that you can rinse it off. And then with this High Priestess, you're going to gain a clarity that is currently hidden from you, a clarity about who this person is, what you are to each other, what you're intended to be, where this isn't intended to go, like these higher level dynamics of how you've been guided towards this. You've been leading your life towards this connection, and in a way where you didn't do it for that, right? You didn't go through those other abusive relationships thinking one day it's gonna lead me to my true love. But you can see it from that perspective in hindsight. It's definitely insight and hindsight that is also giving you foresight. That's true. All of the above connected. So Spirit does want to give you some advice. It's currently hidden. You got to do this work. And you know, all of these people and these healers that I mentioned, I don't think they're wrong. And I don't think that they're trying to harm at all. I just think they live in a different reality. They live, you know, literally we all have our own realities and they just live in a different realm. And that's what's true in their realm. Trauma, abuse, it's normal for great entities to be controlling others, these kinds of things, right? Because fundamentally that's what they're living in their energy. So be very aware of what you're living in your own energy. With that, we have got surrender to prayer. I'm not going to read the text. I'm just going to put these side by side. They almost have the same kind of energy too. We have surrender, stubbornness. You see how she's standing on a checkerboard? There's a greater game at play here than what you can see, my love. Surrender to prayer. You got what you wanted. You have got what you wanted, or for some of you, you're going to get what you want, right? Someday. But this is talking about how the best possible union is going to be here for you. It is going to be a truth for you. You're going to find, there you go, you're going to find that alignment. It's going to be your reality. It's going to be what you experience on a daily basis. You see how here she's out in outside in the light? I will find a way to show it to you. Yeah, surrender, stubbornness. So she is outside in the light and everything just looks so beautiful and so open. And then in the other one, she's in the darkness, in the dark room. And Spirit is saying, surrender to your prayers coming true. Surrender to getting the love that you want to have, that you want to lead. Don't surrender to staying trapped in your own wounding. Right? Let your war in heaven, your metaphorical war in heaven end so that you're wounding. Let the old narratives, the old stories, let that go so that you can start a new narrative, a new story. We all have narratives, we all have stories. That's how we make sense of the world. But just make sure your narrative, your story is one of true love rather than one of being broken and hurt and injured through relationship over and over and over again. It is in your power to decide. So we need a takeaway. This one, yeah, of course. Choose the light, basically, right? Which fundamentally Spirit is saying is also kind of like a requirement to be in this kind of connection. It's definitely not one that would work with vibrations, frequency, even amplitude, but with this energy of being trapped in the, not even trapped, but like of choosing to come from brokenness. All right, let me cut the deck. There we go. Let's choose. Alrighty. We have, oh, two. Okay, that's why. We've got time to make a demonstration. Okay. And it says, the older the soul, the quicker the glance, the softer the glance, the quicker the smile, and the sooner to say, I love you. They also skip and wink more than normal and hold hands with those they walk beside, utterly fearless the universe. You are intended for this. You are intended for this kind of connection where you are holding hands, where there's harmony, there's love, there's intimacy. There is a way of relating where people, it's a win-win connection, a win-win perspective where the two of you are on the same page. You're working together. You're not opposing one another, hurting one another, abusing one another. You're not intended for those kinds of connections. And even with time to make a demonstration, Spirit is saying you are someone who's going to show others, you're going to show the world how that's done. But you first have to show yourself. With that, we've got pucker up, buttercup. Nice. And Pucker Up Buttercup says, being fair and reasonable will earn you respect. There's respect and admiration. But being genuinely kind will make you a total love magnet. Go for love magnet, the universe, yeah. And you know, one of the things about the kindest people is that they've been through the worst stuff, the most crap. And it just, they come out of it in a wise way, right? A lot of people go through crap and they break and they become abusers themselves. For example, they become part of the problem themselves. They keep passing on the wounding. And then there's other people who go through that and they heal. Healed people heal people. And so there's a message here about how your experiences have really truly made you kind, but also someone who knows and values healing, and therefore will bring that forward, will pass that on in your relationship and also in life, in the world in general. Very much about the relationship, but this is also about you as a person. Again, that self-respect and what you can grow into as you gain awareness of that in yourself. So my love, that was the reading. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that it served you. I would love to hear how it resonated and how it lands in your reality, how it makes sense to you and what you've been experiencing. And if you would like to share, I would love to hear it. And then in general, I do offer intuitive readings. If you would like a more in-depth reading, I do 2 readings a day where I answer 3 to 6 questions. With Spirit, I channel answers for you, of course. And then I've created energy work that is free here on the channel or for sale on my website, www.cocreativehealingjourney.com, where I've created all manners of energy work and healing processes. And this may also be relevant for you, come to think of it, with what you're moving through. So if that speaks to you, check it out. All the information is in the description box. Sending you lots of love, wishing you all the best. May you be blessed always, and in always, I know you are. I know you are well watched over. And my love, I'll be seeing you around. Happy healing. Bye. Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to those of you who have chosen this peace stone. Beautiful stone. Beautiful stone. Oh, I'm loving it so much. It's just such a wonderful energy. And I do feel like people in this pile, you've been through a lot in relationships in general. Maybe not in this one, but in general, or specifically in this one. And you're coming now at a time where there's the calm after the storm. I'm actually recording this in the middle of the storm, so that might be what you're hearing. You might hear a lot of wind. But there's an alignment that's coming for you in peacefulness. And I was going to put the deck down, but I knew that would cause noise. And sometimes I just forget because I'm channeling. But I was really aware of this. It's like, shh, shh, quiet, quiet. There's a dynamic and energy that is pulling towards peace, towards quiet, towards balance, harmony, alignment in this connection. So let's see. Yeah, we have the Lovers. Beautiful. We have got Major Arcana number, I love it, I love it. Number 15, the Devil, which in this deck, this is the Thoth Tarot, so it has a very specific meaning. And then we have the Prince of Cups. Okay, that makes sense. I love this. Okay. This is a beautiful connection. This is a very, very beautiful connection. And it is a soul connection. This is definitely a connection where you're showing up. You are the yin to their yang, they're the yang to your yin, the yin to your yang, and so on and so forth, right? Like all of those different levels are interconnected. And with spirit showing up, there is a very there's a very kind of protective energy over this connection. Again, very much showing up as a soul connection, very much showing up as a blessed connection. Spirit is saying expecting great things from this connection. For some of you where that's relevant, that's going to be babies, that's going to be families, that is going to be just the love energy that you put out in your families, in your communities, in your groups, in the world. Some of you are working together. You have shared missions. It's the whole shebang. It's that kind of union. It's that kind of relationship, right? However, we have the Devil. And the Devil is talking about an impulse towards individuality. And in the Devil, it is, in this deck, it is the Devil card can talk about being kind of maligned for what it is that we want, what it is that we desire, literally to be vilified, to be, isn't that a word, devilified? But yeah, to be vilified, to be made into being evil for pursuing certain desires, certain wants. And I'm getting that there's this kind of individual energy, you, theirs, that is causing problems at this time in the connection, where maybe you're wanting different things, you're pulling in different directions, you're pulling in individual directions, and it is causing some misalignment between the two of you. And again, there's an energy that is bringing in peace, so it has been causing that, right? And then we have the Prince of Cups, which is a card about looking at needs. And this card specifically is talking about looking at, you see how he's looking at the snake? It's like a looking at transformation before he's going to raise that flower he's holding in his hand, giving love. So it's a card that talks about having a process of looking at our own emotions, of going through our own process, our own thing, so that we then can give love. And so the message that Spirit has for you in general, do you want to use this deck? Okay, yeah. It was from the reading before, but I have shuffled it. So let's proceed. And there's this message basically about how you both have your own process, you both have your own dynamics, and it's about you really learning to differentiate between what is individual, what is personal, and what is the connection. So sometimes, for example, we have karmic work to do. So let's say one of you has a pattern where in your family there is an ancestry pattern that is about being very guarded with your money, and then one of you starts living that out. All of a sudden you don't want to go out, you don't want to, they don't, or one of you, yeah, doesn't want to go out, doesn't want to spend money, is just being very controlled with their own money, and then it creates a kind of distrust or distance in the relationship. The other person doesn't quite understand. It wasn't usually like this. What's going on? And it becomes a whole thing where actually the person is working out ancestral karma, ancestral patterns, and working on undoing it or elevating it. There's an individual process here that is at play, and the person is trying to gain clarity within their own process, their own stuff, basically. And so it is affecting the connection, and it's about learning how to work those different levels. We have an Eight of Wands upside down. We've got Strength card upside down. Yeah. We have King of Cups. Yeah. I laugh, but in the best way possible, because it's good news, right? So we have got the Knight of Swords. One moment and I'll tell you, I'll share, I promise. And we have the Page of Wands upside down. Wow. Okay. Eight of Wands is talking about how the energy is shifting in the connection, but when it's upside down, it's a more sluggish energy. It's a more sluggish dynamic. And again, it's internalized energy. There are inner shifts in each of you. Each of you is shifting energy on the inside. And you need a process with the Strength card upside down. You need a process that's basically like a purification. You have to make sense of it inside of you. The energy, the spiritual energy that's coming in, it's basically activating you. And you have to wrestle with it individually, each on the inside, and learn how to come out on top. And Spirit is saying that I feel very much that that's where you've been, right? That's where you have been, but it's still ongoing. Now there's lots of different scenarios coming in, but I'm getting this energy that you're going to come out on top. You're going to come out on top of this energy, both of you, whatever it is that you've been working on individually, you're going to come out on top, going to be King of Cups, and then it's going to be an energy that's there in the background, but you can master it. So for example, because we're in family, for some of you, it's family relationships. Maybe you have, one of you has a family that is a little too involved, has a little too much to say, and again, it's affecting the relationship. So doing all that work to correct that requires so much work on childhood patterns, family patterns, ancestral patterns, personal patterns, egoic patterns, all this stuff, doing all of this work. When that work is done, then the person is balanced, and then when the family comes in and they're trying to influence the connection, this person will have mastery over the energy and they'll be able to do it. And fundamentally, with this Knight of Swords, Spirit is calling for a shift in thinking, a shift in concepts that is also about that each person is the best suited to handle their stuff. Relationships are not intended to be spaces where we do all this deep, dark work. We can, but we're not intending to do that. We're intending to be in love and to give love, share love. And really, from how I've been taught, we're intended to be representatives of the divine unto one another. So you're God to them, they're God to you. God loves you through them, God loves them through you. That's the intention of really all relationships in their pure and true form. And that you're clearing out things that is keeping this union from being that, and especially from being all that it is intended to be. And that's at all levels. We were talking about money. If you guys have a business that you are intended to start together and to work together, a mission, a calling in this world to create a business or to work together, then that money stuff needs to be taken care of. Then maybe the family stuff needs to be taken care of, and so on and so forth. So whatever work you're doing right now, it is very, very important and crucial, and each person is going to do that work on the inside, arrive in mastery in a way where they can stand kind of as a protector of the connection, along with spirit, stand in a space of protection and not allow the relationship to be unduly influenced by those dynamics anymore. When the person's ready, when each person has done their work, Knight of Swords, they'll communicate it, they'll talk about it, they'll be ready to share. And it's something that will just happen very naturally, I feel. It's not even like sitting you down and or you sitting them down and going, I've been doing this karmic work and so on and so on. Or just like, I've been thinking about family, and I've been thinking about how my mom does this and that, and I really don't like it, and and so on and so forth. Because also not everybody's kind of vocalizing things, and not everybody is into this whole inner work, dark work. But it doesn't mean that the divine plan isn't at work in everyone. It doesn't mean that we're not all going through the global awakening process, because we are. So when the person is ready, when they're stabilized in it, they will come and they will talk about it. The same for you. Don't feel that you have to share, that you have to explain. With the Page of Wands, the Spirit does have just one little warning, because my Page of Wands is, can you guess it? It's my individuality card. Actually, individualism more like, yeah. And it really just doing your own thing, going your own way, do you. And so this is about, there's a difference between doing what you need to do for karmic work and then doing you. And the Page of Wands upside down is a card for me that is also about mission drift. I love it, actually, how appropriate that is in a different way. But mission drift in general is like when you start a project, an endeavor, and you have one mission, you have one intention, and then as you go along, little by little, it starts drifting, right? So let's say you start a charity and to help people, and little by little, it starts drifting, and all of a sudden, all the money from the charity is being used on trips and hotels and stuff like that. That would be a form of mission drift. And it's not to happen in this connection. So there's a difference between doing what you need to do in order to heal yourself, to be in your own process, and then just disconnecting from the connection and just doing you in ways that are unhealthy. And it's about seeing the difference between the two, which I think Spirit will talk about right now. Let's see. Yeah, I'm saying let's see because you cannot direct where this is going. You definitely cannot direct where this is going, and you can't direct how long it's gonna take. You cannot kind of have too much of an effect on it. You just have to move through it. We have got a King of Wands upside down, literally that. Knight of Cups. And we've got the Major Arcana of the Sun. Beautiful. And finally, we have got the Queen of Pentacles upside down. Equally beautiful. Okay. King of Wands upside down is saying, yeah, you cannot seize control of this. This isn't like a horse. And even riding a horse, I am learning, apparently, from watching YouTube videos. Nothing more deep than that. But that it's not about like being on the reins and forcing the horse to ride. It's actually a co-creative experience. It's a partnership, right? So you can't decide how long this is going to take or kind of set boundaries for how your process or the other person's process can work. With the Knight of Cups, there's a message about being loving, about being compassionate, and about keeping the flow of love going. So sometimes, depending on, what you're going through or the other person is going through, we have really heavy stuff, and it can be hard to be just in the same space as someone else. It can be hard to even talk. There are days you don't want to talk, you don't want to share, and so on and so forth. But then there are ways to keep the love flowing, and it could be like sending a little text, hey, just thinking about you, hey, I'm still not in the right place, but I just want to let you know I love you, you really matter to me, and so on and so forth. And so Spirit is saying to keep the love going, and where it's appropriate, keep the romance going, keep that flow going, because at some point you're both going to be out of this, and you will come be in a space of victory. And this is such a beautiful energy. This is kind of this energy, but flowing completely freely within the connection. And you see how there's this the sun, there's the rays are coming outside of the frame. There's no limitation. It's like unlimited, unconditional spiritual love just flowing freely and bringing so much joy, so much joy in the connection on the other side of this work. And Spirit saying that's even why you're doing this work. It's for more love to be flowing. And I even feel like this extends beyond the connection. This is also more happiness, more success in life, that this is a process that is going to benefit you. So maybe for some of you, what your partner is doing is that they're in, or you are doing, is that you are in school and you're working really hard and long hours and you barely see each other, but you're working to get that degree, to be the first in your family, to graduate, to get a better living, break a generational pattern of poverty and take your life to the next level. And that success is going to unfold. So in the connection, but also in your life on the outside. So whatever work it is and however it's unfolding, however it's showing up, it's going to be beneficial all around. And you are going to be so happy. They're going to be so happy. And when we see the little inner child here, which is also there, and part of this union is the inner child. It's like that sense of being loved in a true unconditional way, because you guys were able to make it through this. And then Queen of Pentacles. Take care of yourself, and have them take care of themselves also. But Spirit is talking to you, right? So self-care on a maximum. Stay grounded, keep taking care of yourself. And again, that message, taking care of your needs, but it's like there's a message here also about leading the lifestyle that you need at this time. So if you need to have time on your own, take that time. If you need to have time together and you can communicate that, absolutely communicate what it is that you need. But fundamentally, for some time, Queen of Pentacles is saying, take care of yourself and anticipate that your needs are to be met by you and within the space that is for you. Right? By your own skills, your own abilities, what you can give yourself, or friends. Actually, there's a bigger world. We have friends, we have families, we have work, passions, callings. Really, this is a time for you to really come through for you, and it's especially a time for you not to be more independent and self-reliant, not mission drift, not being out on your own doing weird things, but being independent, self-reliant. It's like it's one thing to be working through, let's say, an ancestral pattern where maybe there's a pattern of cheating in the family and in the kind of ancestry, right? Working through those patterns, karmic patterns of infidelity. It's one thing to be working through those patterns and then maybe having questions and so on and so forth. It's another thing to be at the strip club every night. So it's about knowing, right, where is this really work and it's healthy, and where am I maybe giving myself a little too much leeway, too much going into this energy, so that it creates disconnection, because that is not the point either. And that is for you and for them. So even if they are in this work, they're not allowed to do anything and whatever, right? They can't talk to you any which way. They can't behave any which way. The Queen of Pentacles is still saying to hold those boundaries in an independence way, right? You are doing your own thing. Fine, you don't have the space and the resources, the wherewithal to talk to me every single day. That's okay. but then don't be chatting up an ex-girlfriend or something like that. That's not okay. So it's still like that. Keep your head on. I feel like that just became the same example. But that's the point, right? Was that the same examples, Bird? Yeah, why? It's the same thing. There's a fundamental dynamic at play here. Yeah, that's okay. That's an easy way to think about this. Whatever the person is working on, whatever you're working on, it's going to be one thing. So let's say you're working on again a pattern of cheating. If you start shopping compulsively, that's a whole other issue. And it's not to say, well, it's part of my process. No, that's drift. That's mission drift. Stay on point, right? All right, let's move on to get you some advice. We have cooperation upside down. When it's upside down, for me, it is about you. When it's right side up, it's about the relationship. In your quest to manifest the energy of love, you realize that every person and experience has value. And so they came up in this way, turned around. So I'm just going to do them one at a time. And cooperation upside down is talking about you. So for you to work with what is showing up, yeah, the spirit is saying there's because you guys are together, right? You're a union, you're a unit. Even if let's say you have your own stuff, you're working your stuff, but whatever they're working on, it's still an opportunity for you to work on your stuff. Yeah, it gets a little bit of gunk off, which can be to be more independent, more self-reliant, the things we were talking about, setting some boundaries, communicating. Basically, there's some work in it for you to give them this space to allow this dynamic to be unfolding in the relationship. Don't just think like, oh, this is me, that's them. There's also work for you in how you are relating to what they're doing. Yeah. So Spirit is inviting you to see it in that perspective. Next bit of advice, we have release. You have the ability to give over unwanted energies to the loving forces of the universe. Yeah. Spirit is saying this is beyond your pay grade. We are talking karmic energies, we are talking big energy shifts, we are talking things that need to happen, and so it is what it is. And so whatever frustration, whatever annoyance, whatever avoidance, whatever fear you have, Spirit is asking you to give it over, and specifically to give it over to spirit, but it's showing up also to really remember that this connection is protected. You are under the purview of Spirit. And I can tell you from experience that I have been in this kind of relation. I am in this kind of relationship and connection. Sorry, I am. And so it happens sometimes where I'm like, oh, this is a deal breaker. No way, this is not going to happen. I can't, move past this, or I don't even know how we're going to work through this. And then I go into meditation and I talk to my guides and I come out and I'm like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Everything is unfolding perfectly because they worked on me. And it's not like mind control or anything like that. It's just helping you regain your clarity. And so you have it within you to move through this process completely beautifully. And it's simply about, even just what I'm saying, I was like, I was, and then I was like, no, I am in this kind of connection. And it's a matter of remembering things change, right? From one day to the next, things change. And this also is something that you can move beyond, that you can evolve beyond, and to have something that is, your new normal. Release it. Give it over to the situation. You are in perfect hands. This connection is in perfect hands. Release worry, release stress. Give it over to Spirit. Nothing to worry about, nothing to stress about. And it is all going to come up into like one beautiful, I'm seeing like Spirit giving you the connection with a bow around it, and an upgrade ultimately on the other side. Finally, we have priorities upside down. You understand the paramount importance of manifesting love in all situations. Beautiful. But upside down, prioritize yourself. Do you in this time? Do you in a healthy way? Do you in a balanced way? Do you in a way that does not disconnect you? But this is a time for you to be learning, to be growing, to be evolving, to be manifesting love for yourself. This situation is calling on you to love yourself more. And that's also one thing for you to do, is to love yourself more, to go even deeper into love with yourself in this connection. So my love, that was your reading. Oh man. And yeah, we have a takeaway. And this takeaway is be true to yourself. There you go. Simple enough, straightforward enough, but there's even more. You may not understand what's going on in their life, but you can always figure out what's going on in yours. Tally ho, the universe. Yeah, that says it all. That's amazing. That is amazing. Again, you see how Spirit brought that card out to fit with this message, is bringing everything together. If it can do that, and the odds of that, when you really start to calculate the odds, they are one in a couple billion, if not trillions, with how many cards there are here. Spirit can do that. It can take care of you. It can serve you and this connection just fine. Trust, believe, be true to yourself. And at some point, you guys will move through this. So, love, thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear how this reading resonated for you. I read the energies, but I, of course, don't know all the specifics. And I would love to hear if you would like to share. I am, in general, sending you lots of love, wishing you all the best. If you do want to work with me, I do offer 2 intuitive readings per week. And then I've created energy work for free here on the channel and also on my website, where there are whole healing processes that I've created if it could help you in your journey, right? That's that's kind of why we made it. So lots of love. May you be blessed always and in always, and I'll be seeing you around. Bye.